Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my phone acts a little lanky, so it sometimes is further behind.
Now you said it. Let me make sure my
But once I know it's caught up, we will officially begin.
All right. Nice.
Okay, and here we are. Welcome to Discussions in Filmland, Episode 6, with special guests Lethal One and Jedi Grand Vale. And today we are talking about 1987's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a classic John Hughes comedy. And at the begin, we'll start discussing when was your first experiences with the movie. We'll start with Lethal.
My first experience with the movie was with my mom, very young. She was watching this movie as she was preparing Thanksgiving dinner. And at the time, I didn't get it. I was young. But this was one of her all-time favorite movies. She used to laugh like really hardcore, cry, laugh at certain parts. And as I got older, I started to appreciate this movie more. But I would say I was around 8 when I really started watching this with my mom.
Okay. Jedi, when was your first?
This wasn't. I didn't believe it or not. I didn't see this film until I think almost into my no. In fact, it was in my 30s when I actually saw this film. I mean, that's. I mean, I love John Hughes, but this one was one of those kind of films. It's like I don't know. I don't want if I want to really touch this one, But when I really did sit down and just tinker around with it, it's like this is pretty good. This is a pretty funny romp, and showing how people who are trying to get back to certain places on time, but they can't because circumstances beyond their control. And I just watched it, and I was like, wow, this movie is a really pretty good film. And I didn't realize it to have a special moment where it's like you actually feel some emotion. It's like, what? This is a late 80s film, and I'm just now seeing this, but I realized, I mean, I was like I was in my 30s when I actually first watched this film.
You're not the only one. I was in my 30s when I seen it too.
Really?
Like
Wow.
Lethal would like always mention it on his streams around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And funnily enough, one day I decided I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy the movie. I got my check, I ordered it off of eBay, went to do my grocery shopping at Walmart, and sure enough, I didn't have to order it. There was a copy on the shelves. I'm like,
Fresh.
I could have gotten this home today and watched it. Now I have to at least wait the weekend. And it was just a few years ago I seen this for the first time, and I loved it. Wonderful pairing with John Candy and Steve Martin. It's a shame those two never got to work together more.
Sure.
And just the story it told and the fact that it takes this emotional turn at the end, which we'll get to, but we kick our movie off with Steve Martin in a business meeting, and you can tell like everyone's in a rush for this meeting to close.
Yes.
Which, whether it's a business meeting or just a regular job, especially holiday weekend, we've all been there before where we're waiting for those last few minutes of the clock to tick down so we can get off. But the boss lets them go, and here comes the mad dash to the taxi, including a cameo by Kevin Bacon, which seeing Kevin Bacon cameo in this just always makes me laugh.
And here's a question. I don't know if you two have ever seen that film. It's another John Hughes film. She's Having a Baby. It roughly came out around the same time as this film.
Hello,
What's up there, Kevin? Right. It came out around the same time as this film did. And I'm wondering when I saw Kevin Bacon's cameo, I'm wondering, could that film exist in the same universe by chance? He's the character from that film in this film by chance. I mean, that would be weird if it was.
Question, I think like official, like, because Hughes was doing both films, he asked Kevin Bacon to just do a quick cameo.
Mm-hmm. And it was an effective cameo. They're both racing to get a cab that's up there. It's like, wow. Like, and when I saw it, it's like, wait a minute, that's fine. This film came out the same time as that film. It's like, could have that been? Like, it would have been too jarring. I mean,
he was really just like on the verge of being like a full-on megastar himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we have him. Kevin Bacon beats him to the cab. Then we get a funny exchange where Steve Martin's trying to buy this cab from anyone else. He's like, 25. How about 50? Anyone that'll pay 50 for a cab will pay 75.
I'm like, wow. And then he says he's a lawyer. I was like,
and while he's doing this, we see the cab getting loaded. And like he basically pays 75 not only to get the cab, but for John Candy to beat him to it.
I mean, the cab driver, wow, it's like he has no loyalty whatsoever. He just takes it. I was like, okay, cool.
I like the fact that the only thing that's left, the only thing you see is like a shower curtain ring in a puddle of water. Like it's so that part gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many like little things in this film, but there's a scene later we'll get to, I'll talk about, but they meet up at the airport and the planes get delayed. He meets John Candy, and this is another funny exchange where he's like, oh, you were getting the cab? I'm sorry. How about you let me do something to make it up for you? And he's like, no, I don't want nothing. At this point, he clearly doesn't want anything to do with him. He gets on his plane, doesn't get his first class seat, and gets seated next to John Candy. And who wants to take it from here?
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, you take it, Lethal. I mean, I think you like this film. I mean, well, you like it, but I think you know this film more indirectly.
I just want to step back just a little bit. I think John Candy is pretty funny to me. He kind of says to Steve Martin, which is Neil, Dale and Neil. He says, "Hey, it was pretty easy for me to get this taxi," and I believe him. I believe that he didn't intentionally take that taxi just because of his personality, but. As they get on the plane, oh man, and I had to deal with this before. Dale is just making it very uncomfortable for Neil at this point, and it's just hilarious. I mean, the whole thing about taking the shoes off, and the smell, like that comes up later in the film when they talk about the smell of his shoes, his feet, and things like that. This part always gets a laugh out of me because I'm more of like a Neil person, like. My tolerance, especially like in close quarters like that, it's not there.
It's like it's definitely like a big like social no to.
Oh yeah,
do that on the plane. And one of the best feel good comedy films. It has heart warmth, but also funny, heartbreaking. It's not always easy to pull that off.
That's true.
Has anyone watched the new John Candy documentary? Proud to say I cried. I love John Candy, a legend.
I have not watched it yet, but I would like to. I mean, because like I say, John Candy, for the life of me, he died way too young.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was he was like just a legitimate nice person.
Yeah.
Like back when he was like in Second City TV, there was a point when he was renegotiating his contract and he wanted a food table and he got it, and when he was asked like why did you want this food table, and it's like so the rest of the cast and crew can have refreshments.
See, he's the kind of person who's actually looking out for someone else other than himself. So yes,
another film he did with a legendary actress, Maureen O'Hara, he didn't like that an actress of her status had such a small trailer, and it was explained, well, you're the star, she's not, so he traded trailers with her so she could have the bigger one out of respect.
See, that's kind of weird. It's sad to say, this is kind of Hollywood standard. It's like if you are a big star, you have to be big-headed to a degree, and it's like
Mhm.
Oh, you mean tell me compassion and whatever good manners don't go for lots? Like not in their minds, and it's sad to say, there's a lot of them out there, but we won't name names because hell, practically all of them are, So, I mean, not all of them, their majority are, but not all of them.
Back to when they're on the plane.
Yes. Was he on the
I'll
phone?
let you continue that, Lethal.
Well, yeah. So basically, after we get to the part where, he takes his shoe off, and you can see that Neil is highly annoyed. Then they realize that they have to land the plane, sooner than what they thought. They had to end up was it Kansas?
Yeah,
What,
Kansas
yeah,
City.
yeah. So yeah, things are going
Wichita.
down.
Wichita.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go, Wichita. Yeah, there you go. I've been there before, actually. Um, but yeah, so they end up at the airport. They're both making calls to try to get a hotel. Neil did not have any luck, but Dale did. So at this point, Neil realized he can't get rid of Dale at the moment. He has to shack up with him, and this is one of my favorite parts coming up. I'll let you guys.
Sleaziest cab driver ever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I
very
mean,
very interesting.
yes. No, it was funny about that one scene. It's like the cab driver. I'm thinking like, okay, he's just being who, but he's making advances or kind of making look. I'm like, really, dude, you're doing that? I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's just doing for a reaction. But it was like, I think he's being serious. It's like no. But
we all need a Neil in our lives.
well, we kind of do, Kevin. I mean, and I won't name the name, but you know who I'm talking about. You know. But no. Getting back to this, like I say, they get to the room, and apparently there's only one room available. Well, I'd say one room available, and like I say, they have to share. And Neil, he's this kind of individual, and he looks around. It's like there's only one bed, And it's funny how I love how the camera moves around.
Yeah.
And he sees Dale, and he's like, "Oh Lord!" And then Dale asks me like, "You want to take a?" He says bluntly, "Say no." He's like, it's like, what are you talking about? He's like, he thinks like, I'm going to do something, I've seen. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's like it is so funny because he's such in an uncomfortable place right now. He's very uncomfortable, but he has no choice but to be where he's at. And we see the shenanigans. Dale's doing his thing, and Neil's washing up, and of course, when he gets out the shower, well, disaster zone. We see that. Wow, Dale has marked his territory with all the stuff, and he only left one towel. Well, no, you can't say it. Washcloth. It's only washcloth. I'm like, God. It is a sad part. Some of the stuff that's going on in this scene, I've actually had to go through in my life in the past, and it's like you just have to work through it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I have a friend, he rings bells for the Salvation Army, and there was a time when he did it, he would stay with me, and he would always get in the habit of putting his towel on the curtain rod, and we never do that, so I'd always open the shower curtain and it would fall in the shower, and I'd keep telling him about it. So it happens one day, I grab the towel which fell in the shower, I come in the living room, toss it at him and say, you see that towel? The next time you hang it on the curtain rod and it falls in the shower, I'm going to wrap that around your neck and drag you outside.
Oh,
hey,
man.
he said it very nicely. I think he said it nicer than most people would say it.
But this all does lead to like a great moment where when they're getting ready to go to sleep, John Candy's doing all these breathing exercises. And Steve Martin finally snaps on him. And what I do appreciate about all these little irritances with Dell is that it keeps Steve Martin's character likable because if he had just been not doing these things and had just been straight, nice, and polite, it would have been to the point where, okay, I don't like this guy anymore. I don't want anything to do with him. So they do strike a nice balance where these two can get mad at each other without you so hating one over the other.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I can tell you now, and really this film, you think about it, is more like a road film to a degree, because even though they, as a movie entitles, planes, trains, and automobiles, the simple fact is this film is a precursor. Yes, thank God. Yes. Trust me. I don't. Yeah, but no. This is a precursor to Due Date. If you ever seen that with Robert Downey Jr. and what's his name? I can't remember who's in the Hangout. I mean, the Hangover. That guy, the bearded guy. If you watch that film, you can literally say that that's almost a adaptation or kind of a upgraded version. And I ain't gonna say upgraded, just a 2000 version of that film, because if it seems like this character is somebody you almost want to choke, I mean, in this film, it's like, okay, he's just mellowing out and everything. He's realized he's just got to work for the faces. Due Date is a different story. That guy, you want to like commit a homicide. He's like, this dude is no. I mean, I'm sorry, he cannot breathe air. He needs to go. He needs to be extinct. That's how it is, But if you ever watch it, it's crazy.
I'm interested if it's an adaptation of this film. I definitely would like.
I mean, it's kind of like that, but I think you, because I swear I love listening. While watching it, it's so funny.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. But we also see they get robbed over the course of the night.
And I'm wondering who that was. I mean, just some random dude just breaking into their rooms, into their rooms or something. I don't get it.
In an alternate universe, when I was growing up, I always thought that was Dana Carvey for some reason. And then when I got older, I was like, wait a minute. No, Dana Carvey would have been like 8 or 9 or something like that when that happened. I don't know. The guy looks like him to me.
Yeah. This is like a little, even though I don't travel, little smart travel tip here. If you're staying in a hotel, motel, whatever, when you go to sleep, tuck your wallet under the mattress.
Yeah.
Or if you have one of those nifty safes in the hotels, put it in there, because that's what nowadays they have those.
They do, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, you're right about that, Kevin. I mean, that's the thing. These films should not be touched. Now, as I mentioned, Due Date, it's not so much an upgrade of this film. It's just a different take on it.
It's similar enough.
It's similar enough, but it's just as funny as this one. This one's funny. This one's just as funny. And trust me, I feel like you would, like I say, with Dale, he warms up to you. With the character that's in Due Date, as I said before, yeah, it's you just have to deal with it. Yeah, it's like that.
Then we have, as we go along the next leg of the adventure, they're eating at a diner, discussing their next plans, and we do start to notice something interesting. Even though John Candy says he has a wife, we see he's clearly in no rush to get home. And if anything, he's more interested in getting Steve Martin home, which you, in the back of your head, you're like, doesn't this guy want to be with his wife on Thanksgiving?
Right.
As well as some other things, like he always sets the picture of her on the nightstand in the hotel, which there's a lot of subtle foreshadowing for the ending, but they're discussing it at the diner, and Steve Martin takes out his wallet, accuses John Candy of robbing him, and there's some nice back and forth before John Candy's like, here's my wallet. If there's anything over X amount, then you can accuse me of stealing. And it turns out they both been robbed, so they kind of have to charge their way home, which is not ideal, but it's better than being stranded. And then they get to John Candy makes a deal with this the guy of the train station and his son, and he has like these
Oh my god.
redneck people show up
Oh
in a
yeah.
pickup truck. And I love the line when he tries to get the guy's wife to help them with the case. No, we got it. He go, she might be stronger than she looked. Our first baby came out sideways.
And she didn't scream or nothing.
Right. And I'm be honest with you, I thought that was his daughter or to a degree when I first saw her. I was like, that's his wife. It's like, okay, you know.
It was funny here too with the glove and the dog.
Yes, that.
And he's explaining, he's like, well, it shouldn't be more than like, what is it, 40 miles, unless of course he takes the back roads, then we're talking 70.
Yeah. And and that's the funny thing, he kept adding miles. He said, it's only about 30 miles. It might be 40 miles. It's definitely going to be 45 miles. I'm like, come on, dude, what is it, you know?
Yeah, and if I've ridden in the back of a truck in a pickup like that in winter before.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk, well, still not winter yet, but might as well be, especially in this side of the country. You want to talk cold.
Were they okay? Then were you like them? I mean, was that exaggerated the way they showed them almost?
That was exaggerating, but you feel that way.
Okay, because I don't. Now that I think about it, I'm trying to say, have I ever ridden a backward truck during the winter time? I have. That was back in the '80s, but that's been so long ago. I mean, that's been like, yes.
The interaction with the dog was hilarious too, with Steve Martin trying to get his gloves back.
Yeah.
Then when they get to the train station, they're all frozen over, and the dog's still growling at them.
But you know what? They defrosted pretty well, considering, you know. I mean, once they get to the the train depot, and it's like, well, they warmed up pretty well.
Okay, Walter, you handle the train incident.
Yeah, well, I've had many incidents with trains, and let me. You know what? This is kind of interesting. This film is pretty much a establishment of the trifecta of the planes, trains, and automobiles. I have done the trifecta of the planes, trains, and automobiles, and let me tell you, when I took the train the first time, it was okay going to where I was going, my first destination. Coming back was a big cluster. Let me just put it like this. I had rented a vehicle to go to the train station because the train doesn't come to where I live. I had to go to another state, actually, to catch the train. So I had to rent a vehicle. Rented the vehicle, went there, everything's good, caught the train, Bob. Then I come back, going to get another vehicle to go back, but apparently some reason I didn't have the right qualifications to go back, and I had the money to cover it, but they say they can't do it without a credit card. I'm like, why do these places need credit cards? If you have the money to do it, just take it. But no,
your ID should be good enough.
Yeah, but it wasn't. So, and I'm gonna make this real quick. So I had to stay there, and fortunately, there was a Greyhound that was there at the train station, but I had to wait for a good, how long was this? Because I got back towards oh my God, yes. I got back there around 11 o'clock that morning. I had to stay there until midnight until I caught the bus. And I didn't get home until like 3 a.m. Okay. So, yeah. So I kind of got that experience. I mean, that's dealing with a train, but dealing with a bus is a totally different story.
I've had my own bus mishap. It was when I first moved down south. We got a bus from Trenton, New Jersey to Richmond, Virginia. There was a layover late afternoon in Washington, D.C. It was supposed to be an hour layover. Figured we'd have time to get something to eat in. Keep in mind, I did not have time to eat breakfast to make this bus to... Well, we had to take the train station to the bus station, but either way, I didn't have time to eat breakfast. 1 hour layover in D.C., you think that would be enough time, right? it was a 20-minute layover. So I had to get off the food line, and I wasn't able to eat till we got off the bus station about 10:30 at night.
So you had to run back to your place where the bus was catching up, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But we've all had some kind of like travel disaster.
Oh yeah. I have too many to name here, so
I'll
just keep it moving.
Look, Kevin brings up a point where I finally got baptized by having to stay overnight at an airport because look, I got the notification of my flight back from Dallas to Monroe, Louisiana in the air. It said like your flight has been canceled. Your flight has been canceled so you're gonna have to get another flight. I was like, I know. I'm like, no. I'm not reading. No, this is not reading. No, it's a mistake. No, come on. I didn't realize how vicious the weather is around this time, especially down in the South. Mm-hmm. And all I know is that it was raining, and I guess that's the reason why I had to cancel it. And the funny thing is, from where I am, from once you get to Dallas to over here, it's maybe like an hour, maybe not that much, but it's a long way. So when I had the flight canceled, it's like, okay, I have to get another ticket. Everything's good, everything's fine. But when they said that you got to wait until 9 a.m. to catch the flight, I was like, I got to wait over 12 hours to do this. Because the thing about it is, I get to Dallas from San Diego, get there around 3-ish, like something like that. And then it's like, I've got to wait all this time, almost a day, till I go back home. And it's only so I sweated it out. And there was no place to be put up. I mean, and I think Kevin said, somewhere they could probably put you in a hotel if they want to, so you can catch. But I didn't want to do all that because I had here's the thing about this. Yeah. Yes, that's, oh my God, I remember this.
Oh, yeah, they really messed you over.
They screwed him over royally. But
they kept him in London for like 2 days.
That was. And he almost wanted to cancel. He wanted to cancel it quick. Kevin wanted to cancel. Didn't want to come. Thankfully, he did come, and everything was wrapped up. But just to finish this off, though, I totally get what they were saying about this situation, because there's a moment coming up in the film that's relatable that I've had, that I did this. I'm trying to make sure that I'm in the right spot to catch, because of where the planes will come in, because they keep changing the terminals ever so often, and I didn't understand why they do that, but it's just because maybe one of the terminals is not working, blah blah blah, whatever it might be. I get outside, and that was a big no-no, because once you go outside, where you are, you got to like walk all around, and trust me, it's like 2 miles in any direction to get back to where you're supposed to go. So what happened with Martin, with Neil's character, I actually had to walk certain places to get back to the terminal I'm supposed to go to. And thankfully I managed to catch a bus, because I was like, I'm not going to make this. It was kind of hot. I'm tired. And so fortunately I got to the spot. I was able to be let in. They checked my ID. I'll check my flight plan and all that stuff. And I was like, rewatching this moment with him when he finds that his car is not at the airport. We'll get to that point. Get at the airport, and he's screaming and he's hollering. I didn't go as explaining as he did, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I'm screaming like, why is this happening? Why is it, So I realized watching him, what he went through, is like, it's kind of similar, but I think he had it worse than I did, So, but I just want to put that out there.
Look, we have John. So we get to where John Candy gets them on the train, and they're not on long before the train breaks down.
How does this? I mean, I know this can happen. nothing man-made is not gonna be perfect. It's always gonna. But when you hear this clank clank, it's like metal breaking. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me! You mean the train is literally breaking down right now?
Logistically, just the nightmare of a train breaking down, because you need to immediately notify that there's a train down on the tracks.
But the thing about this, when you see this moment here, these people, the conductors, all it's like you're letting these people just walk out from the train. It's like they're out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, y'all not going to do something.
It does seem a bit irresponsible.
You're responsible for these people. Why are you letting them just,
I just wanted to say this. It's kind of like the way that I look at it, it's like an overall theme. It's like every time Neil tries to get rid of Dale, something bad happens. So it's kind of like, it feels like, something greater power, something is trying to keep these two together for some reason. I don't know what it is, but it's like, like you say, Dale gets the train, the tickets or whatever, or is it Neil? I'm sorry, Neil gets the tickets, and then he says, hey, I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna go into a different cab, just whatever, you don't have to pay me back. But like you say, immediately the train breaks down. So I don't know. It's just like an overall theme. Every time Neil tries to get away from Dale, something brings them back together.
Somehow cross paths. Yeah. In a few moments.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that too. It's like, because Neil actually says, like, what did I deserve to be with this guy? What did I deserve to meet this guy? It's like, and I think you make a good point. It's like, maybe there is a higher power saying that you need somebody like this in your life. You need a little mystery. You need a little, not so much chaos, but something fun in your life.
And look, once he sees him dragging the case, he just doesn't even question it, and he just helps.
He helps him. Yeah.
Did anyone catch when they get to the next station that the guy they're sitting next to has two like rats on his knee?
I didn't catch that. Oh my god.
Yes, I was gonna say I didn't catch that part.
Like the guy they're sitting next to on the bench, there's two rats on his knee.
Oh my gosh. Wow, as many times as I've seen this movie, I didn't catch that.
I just noticed that rewatching this the other day, but you said that's one of the great things about it, whether it's either the shower curtain ring in the puddle of water. And we glossed over it, but John Candy sells shower curtain rings.
Yes. Because we noticed that when Neil's when he's washing, he sees those, shower rings, and it's like curtain rings. Are like, huh, that's what he does. That's what he sells. It's like, okay,
But they get on the next. They get on a bus, and we don't have too much go on here. There's a couple going way overboard with public displays of affection. With that, just like, no, you people have some more decency. No one wants to see that.
But the guy actually points. I mean, the guy who's kissing, he's like, why don't you take a picture? The last line, it's like, you're making yourselves very noticeable. How we're not supposed to see,
And then they start singing on the bus, and when it's Steve Martin's turn, he picks a song no one's ever heard of.
I was like, how do you not know this? I mean, no, not even young. I mean, that's okay, but older, you mean you don't know this song?
It is funny that when he starts singing it, everyone's looking back, and then John Candy breaks the tension with the Flintstones song.
Yeah. Which, hey, you know what? Hey, you can't go wrong when you've seen the Flintstones film. I'm sorry.
I love the Flintstones.
We get to the next station, and they go to rent cars, and like Walter said, he went through something like this.
But before we get to that point, though, this is I got to say, this was disheartening, this moment before he goes and tries to get the car. He tells Dale, where they're at the having little breakfast or whatever, he tells him every time something happens or something goes down, it's like things don't work out. I'm thinking he's about to say, it's like, if when we're together, things work out. I'm thinking he's going to say that, it's kind of chum up to him and everything. He actually says the opposite. He says, no, ever since I met you, everything goes down here. Everything's like, and he's primarily just saying it's like, I don't want to be around you. I can't stand being around you. I'm just like, okay, I mean, tell us how you really feel, dude. I mean, I know you're not queen on this guy, but it's like, stick with him. I mean, he will get you where you need to go to, but it's like,
this is kind of like the one moment where he does overstep it a little.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I guess like, all right then. I mean, and you know what? Dale takes up what he's been said to him, and it's like, hey, sucks it up. It's like, fine, bye. You know, I'm gone. I'm not gonna try to hold your hand or anything like that. I mean, I thought where we're at, it's like maybe we become buddy, something like, nope, that's not how he looks at it. So I was like, all right. So then we go to the infamous moment at the trains. I mean, not train. We've already been to the train. Go to the airport, and he's going to the rental. And before this, he's going through the tirade of, you like, say the car's not there. So he goes to the rental clerk here. And I'm telling you, this moment here, I gotta say, is just, I don't, because I'm be honest with you, when I first heard about this film, I just never imagined that Steve Martin had this ability to just drop F-bombs like nobody's business.
This was the part that made him want to do this movie when he read this in the script.
Really? And it's brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, he's telling him, "What's up, Jake?
Ooh.
Our friend Jake, how you feeling?" Yeah, he's telling her, it's like, take that effing smile off your face with your effing roses, effing this, effing. He said the F bombs every second. I'm just like, wow, he's really spitting fire right now, you know. So I'm like, okay, this is somebody I would never imagine would be that outgoing saying it like this. But when you say that he wanted to do this film because of this moment, it's like, okay, all right, I get you.
Who's been here before too, where you're online, you have to get something straightened out, whether it's bank, maybe car rental or whatever, where the person at the desk is having some kind of personal conversation.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I have gone through this.
I had a couple months back now. I had a dentist appointment. It had to be canceled on their end last minute while I was there. Mm-hmm. And in front of me was a woman who needed a translator. And I kid you not, this took 5 times with this woman and the translator going back and forth in Spanish. Took 5 times as long as everyone else, to the point where my bus drove by.
Oh.
So I just kind of interrupt, like, excuse me, I'm going to miss my next bus. I don't have all day. And then I had to go to the bank to get some cab money out for grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing while I was on the bank. The lady in front of me, after getting her money, was back and forth with the teller. And I'm like, shut up. I have things I need to do and places I need to be.
Yes, this is the ramifications of knowing that some people just don't care, or better yet, they feel like you're not that important if you're in the moment. And it's like, you do know that you are at a business, you are at a place where you're supposed to help people and get them to where they need to go to, or need to get them situated, whatever. This is not professional. And to me, and the funny thing is, you think like when you watch this part, okay, that's not realistic, but let's be honest, art always imitates life. And it's crazy how some of this is so dead on with the people in the real world that they will talk their heads off. But do y'all ever stop to realize, like, okay, you're kind of doing pretty much, you know. I guess they're the kind that Joker would say in The Dark Knight. You say, chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. And I guess that's what these individuals are. They are agents of chaos. So,
yeah. Well, another thing that made this scene great was just as he was going on his tirade, just her facial expression the whole time.
Oh, yeah, she sold it, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's like it's just how layered the comedy is at that even though like the tirade is the big point of the laugh in this, it's just her just standing there listening with her facial expression that makes it more funny
Yeah.
before she finally gets to get her heat back and she's like, well, do you have your receipt?
Yes.
I threw it away.
And she's like, oh no. And he said, I mean, what? Oh no, what? He say, you're, you know. Right.
After he gets into a fight after this with a guy at the, I forget what this guy's doing. He's at this booth at the street and he punches him out and he almost gets run over by John Candy.
Yeah.
And that John Candy, he gets mad. He's like, are you insensitive jerk? Can you help this man up?
And he does help him.
Oh gosh.
He gives him a claw.
I swear when he I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he helps him, or like I say, maybe he just, just saying, being sarcastic. No, he helps him, not in the way he wanted him to. And when he does get him in the car, I'm like, wow, it's like, is that something wrong with his butt? It's like, no, that just shows what happens when someone grabs you in a very naughty place. It's in a bad way. You are going to be sounding like like you've been on a opera or something like that with high notes, It's just like, that's how he sounds. It's like, wow.
I could have killed you. Do you have any idea how glad I'd be if you did?
I mean, I wonder, did he? I mean, I'm trying to figure, like, was that just a good sound design, or did he suck some helium to,
Maybe helium.
Helium. That's what I was thinking. Did he suck some helium to make him sound like that? Because he sound like he's like, I wish you could have just done that to me. I was like, wow. Oh.
Is it implied? Do you guys know that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, is it implied that the car that Dale had was that Neil's car that he rented, or like, what I mean?
That is a good question. Come to think of it.
Yeah, I wonder. It's kind of implied that it was. He was like, his car was missing. It wasn't there, and Dale used his credit card. So I was just like, wait a minute, is that the car?
Oh, that poor car.
My God, that car.
Oh, I know you love this whole car part, Lethal, so I'll let you take this.
This is probably my favorite part. This is the part, like, when I used to help my mom pick her greens and stuff. It was always on this part for some reason. But yeah, they're driving, they're taking turns. Basically, when one gets tired, the other one takes over driving. They're heading towards Chicago, and at this point, Dale's driving, and he's trying to get comfortable, but he's a big guy. I'm sort of a big guy too, so I can kind of relate to this. He's moving around, and his coat and stuff is getting stuck, and he ends up. I don't know, like what? How did the cigarette? Now that I think about it, how did he?
He threw it out the window in the.
Yeah, the window was like cracked and it bounced off, and then it went in the back seat. But basically, yes, he's caught in his coat. The car spins around in like a 180, and he doesn't realize this, but he's going the wrong way. Like he's heading down the highway, going the wrong way, and he's driving. And then you have these really good people actually trying to save their lives. They're honking a horn at them. They're like, hey, roll your window down. They're trying to get him to roll his window down. They're honking the horn. Neil wakes up. He's like, what's going on? He was like, I don't know. They're drunk or whatever. And they finally roll the window down, and they're screaming at the top of their lungs, hey, you guys are going the wrong way. Mm-hmm. They was like, how do they know where we're going? Like, I don't know. If you think about it, that's hilarious. It's like, yeah, like, how do they know where we're going? And then, Neil looks down at the ground, and he looks, anybody who knows the highway, and then he, by the time he realizes, like, oh, they mean we're going in the wrong direction on the expressway, they look up, and there's two semis coming straight for him. And this is the part that my mom used to cry laughing. So they're wedged in between the two semi trucks. It's kind of going in slow motion. You got the sparks flying, and you have Neil and Dale. They're like, looking back and forth at each other. And at some point, Dale is the devil. Like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, Neil sees Dale as the devil, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that part used to always make us laugh so hard. But somehow they survive that collision, and I'll let somebody else take it from here. That's my favorite, one of my favorite parts, though.
Well, it ends with them where, and I got to give it to his trunk. This trunk
is tougher than the car.
Animanium.
Yeah, yes, very much so. It flies out the car, because they do this incredible. Well, I think, okay, this is after the thing. Flies out the car, lands so many feet away. So they go to grab it, and he goes help him. They put it down. They get it out the street, out of the road, pretty much. And well, if the opposite happens, the car starts to catch on fire because of. And that's a funny thing because I kind of missed it at first when I was rewatching. It's like, oh, that's the reason why it caught on fire because of the.
It took a long time.
So it starts to catch on fire. They start to hear it, and Neil says to himself, "It's like, well, something bad happened to you for once, And and the thing about that is, you should never wish nothing bad on anybody, But I mean, that's how people's mental state is sometimes. But as things go, you come to find out that because Neil starts to put it together, like, well, how'd you pay for it? You had to have a card to do it in the first place. Well, I actually had your card because if you watch at the early in the film, both the cards got switched up, and I'm thinking to myself, Neil, could you not tell that was not your card? That was Dale's card that you was taking away, So somehow that happened, and vice versa. Dale used Neil's card to get the rental. So in fact, that's on Neil for the car rental, and everything. So as this is going on and everything's burning up, you got to remember one little thing, and this is something I don't know why he even did this in the first place. Why did Neil put his wallet in the glove compartment? Why would you do that? I mean, shouldn't you just kept it in your suit or your pants or what? I mean, why?
Exactly.
I'm looking at that. I mean, I know that's plot armor. But at the same time, that's incredibly stupid because why would you put that in there? Especially if you're with somebody who you've had an incredible journey with. So when you find out that, okay, now that the car is burning, it's like, oh yeah, his wallet's in there. It's getting burnt up. So they'll actually ask him, he'll kind of grabs, it's like kind of sob for a second. He's like, are you mad at me? And sure enough, he just punches him in the stomach. And I think this is just ratification. He deserved this to happen to him. He tries to walk off and he just trips over the truck, which is good comedy moment here because it's like, dude, he didn't really deserve that. You didn't deserve to hit him because all he's trying to do is get you home, get you where you need to go to, but you're taking it out on the wrong person. So basically, they get the car. Surprisingly, this is again plot armor. They get the car running. They get to a so-called motel that's out of boondock nowhere. We don't know where it's at. He gets it there. They get it there, and pretty much everything is still hot. It's still smoking. So, yeah, Neil and Dale go in and they try to get a room. And surprisingly, Neil gets a room, but he has to give his watch away. And the funny thing is he has $17, but it's not enough. The room is like $17. I mean, not $17. It's like $42.50, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, he gives him this, looks like a very expensive watch. I don't know if it's a Cartier or whatever, it's a very expensive. It's a Casio. Okay. that's Dale.
Yeah,
Talking about-
Dale.
The Casio.
He tries to do the same thing as Neil, but he doesn't have. It's not as expensive. But to me, this is a moment where Neil has always been what you call a minute man. He's always looking at the time. He's always looking at something that's pretty much kind of like keeping him constricted all the time. And I feel like that's the moment where something has been keeping him like in a vice for so long is taken away because he has to
thought about that.
I love that. Yeah, that's a good observation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, because there's moments where he looks, I mean, look at it, and it's like, oh, I don't have a watch. Dude, we know you're just trying to get home, but it's like you be looking at the time so much. It's like you're not letting life just be just a thing to do. You know, I mean, because nothing is connected with time. What you do with your time is valuable, and you're valuing the fact that okay, you're not valuing that whatever happens. And when he, like I say, once he gets ready to watch, you know, it starts to kind of settle in that, you know, hey, things are going to move smoothly. And I mean, it's still going to be some incidents, but that's life. Life is not guaranteed what's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen regardless of what you do. So this is a moment where, you know, Dale tries to do the same thing as Neil. And the funny thing is, there are two beds in the room that he's in. So he can easily come in, but Neil doesn't want to have it. Dale goes into the car, it starts snowing, and he starts saying like, you're right, you know, talking about his wife and everything. And like I said, I never really got the subtleties at the time that his wife had passed on, you know, but this is a moment, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, maybe, I mean, it was just me, but when he's sitting in the car and it's cold, he says, like, you know, I wish I could see you. But he says, well, not very long. It's almost like right there in the moment, he wants to kind of just die there. You know, he literally, you know, freeze in the cold. I don't know how y'all saw that, if you saw it that way, but for some reason in my mind, it's like, I want to see you, but this is probably the only way. And, you know, it's like, wow. I mean, then, like I say, Neil says, like, you know what, I can't just let this guy, you know, sit there. Because you see how he closes his eyes are closed, and he say, you're going to freeze out there. And Dale wakes up, and, you know, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys could see it that way, but for some reason, Dale, to a degree, might have wanted to pass on at that moment. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
Then they go on to like just have a legitimate good scene together.
Yeah. This truly is a moment where I feel they truly are bonding. I mean, before it's just like, I can't bond with you. You know, you're killing me, you know, mentally.
It's the first moment where they're really able to like take a breath.
Yeah. And then it's when we realize, and like, as Neil is talking about, you know, you're married, you know, and everything, and you love your wife. It's like being with that somebody is really important because there's something that keeps you kind of grounded, kind of stable. And as I say again, I didn't even get the gist of it at the time that, you know, Dale's wife was not there, you know, wasn't existent. So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Even though it's one of those things where when you get to the end and it's revealed and you look back, it's so glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
But like I say, at this point, like I say, they're laughing, you know, they're having a good time, and Dale's mentioned to him, you know, you're gonna probably look back on this and laugh about this, and Neil is actually starting to laugh now, and I think that's the thing right there. Neil, even though he has a family, he has a good life and everything, he never takes the time to just have a chuckle, you know. He's all about business.
He doesn't take the time to actually live.
That's it. That's why I was mentioning before what to watch. I feel like once that was taken away, now you're actually living. You're not living by a watch. You're not living by the clock.
Since you mentioned that, I want to throw in too, there was a scene after the car fire. I don't remember if it was filmed or if it was in the original script, but where after that, the two of them were in a strip club but it was designed to scrap because it was decided to scrap it because it was like, the whole gist is this guy's trying to get home to his family. So this just don't feel right for him to be doing that.
Yeah. And especially, like I say, even Dale. I mean, even Dale. I mean, like, even though he's married, it's like, no, I don't think. And even though she's passed, it's like passed on. It's like, nah, you don't need to have that.
Yeah.
You don't need to sound on her like that. So,
the next morning, they're a little snowed in.
yes.
So they're trying to get out, and John Candy's driving, which at this point I'm like, maybe you should be the one driving.
I don't think it would have mattered because they were, like I say, they were pretty much they were encased in the snow. So
he's like, now hit the gas, and when he hits the gas, he reverses right into the motel room. And they're both like just looking around. Steve Martin hops in the car and they get out before the owner can see.
I'm like I say, you know what? Maybe it happens in real life, but I'm surprised nobody came out at any time. Maybe because it's cold or it's like I don't know, but no one comes out and tries to catch them.
Well, maybe this is one of those the side of town where you're much happier not knowing what that big commotion outside is.
Yes. So in the moment where the cop catches them because they're going over the speed limit, you realize like, okay, there's a reason for that because yes, all the gauges and everything have melted away and you can't see them.
But go figure, the radio's still working.
I appreciate how that was shot too. I don't know. It was something about looking at them from the cop's perspective as he's driving up. They're singing, and it's like that he's looking at the car. Like I don't know if you guys I pay attention to the little things, but just the way it was shot, like looking at it from the cop's perspective. You got these two idiots who don't have the top of their car, and they're speeding and they're singing in harmony together. And then he pulls them over. I don't know. It was something about how that was shot.
You really can't fault the cop.
You're right. Like what's going on here? Like,
no, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That is a good moment there.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those subtle things where it's even just the cop who's playing everything completely straight and deadpan just elevates the comedy. It's like, do you know how fast you were going? Well, the speedometer's burnt. This gauge is burnt. That gauge is burnt. Funnily enough, the radio's still working. Do you think this car's really safe to have on the road?
I gotta give it to the Candy. At least he was being truthfully honest.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to like BS his way out of it. He was being totally sincere about it. And he even says, I'm trying to get this person home for Thanksgiving for his family. I mean, you think that's going to widely work, but it's like, yeah, you're going to get a ride, but just not to where you're going to.
The fact that he was that straight and polite with them probably saved a lot of grief. I have a friend who used to be a truck driver, and he told me about one time he got caught leaving a state speeding, and this officer pulled him over, and he didn't realize it, but when he did, he's like, can I help you, officer? Gave him the registration. He was real polite about it. And he said, yeah, I'm speeding and I was sorry about that. And the officer went back to the car to run the information. And he came and said, well, you know what? You were going downhill and gravity works really well right near the state border. So as far as I'm concerned, nothing happened. And he just let him go where like, I'm sure like they take big rig speeding extra seriously.
Yeah. Very.
So it goes to a lot of times, even with this, sometimes just if you're you're just polite and honest, and not just necessarily with cops, but in any situation, being polite and honest can get you in less hot water than if you're going to be belligerent.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure all law officers deal with a lot of hostility from some people, and not so much so that they have to, because it's like, okay, you're dealing with a cop now. You do have some who are dishonest, out there. This is true, but the ones who are actually doing their job to the letter, try to be polite, try to be considerate, try to be cordial, not to blow the top. Because I've seen a lot of videos where people are just irate, and it's like, how does the cop keep his cool? But they have to.
There
So
was one time the convenience store near my house. I went to get something, and there was a police officer behind me. I let him go in front of me.
mhm.
And as he's paying, they hear a call to Walmart, and he puts his hands on the radio, and I see him mouth 1, 2, 3, 4, and then someone answers, and I'm just looking at him. He goes, unspoken rule: whenever there's a Walmart call, you count to 5 before you reply.
Okay, so
I'm sure the Walmarts near you are the same way. Like, police get called there for some of the most stupid off the wall things.
say, because that's the thing. It's like, okay, you're taking me away from something that's more serious, but it's like I'm dealing with this pandering thing that doesn't even matter up to a hill of beans. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
After the police officer takes the car, John Candy, funnily enough, he gets them a ride on a truck. But they can't ride in the cab because the truck driver is very funny about it. So they have to ride in the back of a refrigerated truck.
I mean, hey, and again, this is a moment where it's like, as I mentioned before, we're going to have instance where it's like you can't avoid it. It's going to happen. But they get to where they're going. And I think, like I say, they were like what, few miles from? Yeah, they were in Chicago. They managed to get to Chicago. He was going to take the subway to where his home is, and surprisingly, they hugged out, and everything and whatnot. And Lethal, I'll let you take it from here because I feel like this is a moment where it really solidifies what this picture is all about.
Well,
so at this point, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go.
Yeah. At this point, they make it to. Fun fact: this is LaSalle Station. I'm very familiar with this area because I've been to that location numerous times in my life. This is like where travelers, tourists would go. You have like 7 or 8 L trains, and not to mention the Metro also goes to this location. So where they were standing, I was like, oh, I was there a couple years ago. They get on the Brown Line, which is, I believe, that takes you to the northeast side of Chicago, where they lived. And at this point, they go their separate ways again. I forget exactly word for word how they went their separate ways, but you have Neil on the train and he's sitting there and he's reflecting. This is where, and what you said was so powerful about the watch coming off. And at that point in the movie, this is where they became, I feel like they were bonding and became somewhat friends. He's reflecting on all of these moments, and this is the way I interpret it. Like, things weren't as bad as what it seemed like, because he's even laughing about it to himself as he's on the train. He's thinking about those different moments. But at the same time, he's starting to think about, some of the things that Dale told him, and he's putting 2 and 2 together.
He stopped focusing on the time.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, but he's thinking about some of the moments that Dale's talking about his spouse, and next thing you know, he goes back. The person who's trying to hurry up and get home to his wife and kids, he goes back to the LaSalle. Dale is still in LaSalle Station. Again, very popular spot. He walks in and he sees that Neil walks in and sees Dale is still there at the train station. He asks him, why are you still here? Why don't you go home? And at this moment, it's revealed. And this part, when I got old enough to understand what was going on, this part did make me tear up. I believe I did cry. He explains that his spouse is passed away, and the reaction from Steve Martin here was good too, because I think that I reacted the same exact way. It was just oh no, and then Neil being the good person, good good, kind person that he is, he, you know, pretty much invites Dale to come home with him, which was
yes.
very, very cool and very, very nice. I believe the area or the neighborhood that they were in, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that it's the same place that the Home Alone house is
It is.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, I started recognizing the area. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this house is familiar. So, yeah, I'll let somebody finish it from here. But yeah, they get back to the home. The family's there. They walk in, and yeah, I'll let somebody else finish it from here.
I'll take it up here. This is the moment that really chokes me up.
Hold on, Walter,
Yeah.
before you, I do want to point something else out before you. The original planned ending was supposed to be for John Candy to walk away from the door at the last second.
Really?
Whoa. Oh, so he
Okay.
wasn't gonna go in. Wow.
I just wanted to throw that out before Walter gets to the
Whoa, that changes that.
emotional crux.
That does, yeah. Wow.
But that changes the whole dynamic because I'm like, why would? I mean, I get okay. All right. Well, no. They go in, you know, and he meets. Dale meets his family, you know, his mother-in-law, father-in-law, as you know, and everything, and his kids, you know, beautiful kids and everything. And when he sees his wife, he realized because you know, off and on, you know, he was calling her, telling where he's at and everything. But I think he didn't realize. And see, this is another thing about this moment here. The song, you know, every time you go, I mean, how's it? What's that song? Every time you go away, you know, and it's got the lyrics say, "You take a piece of me with you." It never really goes away. It's just like, you know, you're gonna get back home, but at the same time, you realize like what's more valuable. Your time. When I say your time, trying to say, oh, I'm trying to catch this, like, or knowing that you live your life, and knowing that when you do get there, the journey. I mean, the journey is more important than the destination. I mean, because eventually you're going to get there, but let it flow naturally and don't try to fight it. So when he sees his wife, he realizes like, you know, I mean, I love you. And then that's when the moment when you see Dale pretty much, I guess
he's like gripping his hat. He's, you know, he's reacting, seeing that kind of love from them two probably reminded him of, you know, him and his spouse.
And it kind of helps him to like say, maybe I can live again myself. I mean, I've been living, but I've been pretty much homeless all this time. But you know,
it's the moment where he realizes he needs to walk away from the grief.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's kind of funny how some people grieve over certain things, and it takes so long. You know, I mean, I didn't really understand that too well until when my mom passed away nearly 15 years ago. It took me roughly, when I can't say roughly, I'll just say it took me time to get over it, you know, and start like living, you know. But in time, I realized, like, say, everyone reacts to certain things differently. And when you love someone that much, that deeply, you can't just turn it off, you know. And I guess for him, that moment when he knew he did what he said he was going to do, get Neil home to his family. And it was on Thanksgiving. Get him there, and he realized like I accomplished my mission, but at the same time, I realized like, hey, it's time to like move on and, you know, enjoy the life that I've been given, even though it's not with the person I'm with, you know. And like I say, that's why I say this is a straight up comedy, but it's moments like that where you realize comedies like this, which I feel is such a lost art in films or comedies in general. They have heart.
Yeah.
You know?
The comedy is why you watch the movie, but it's this part here in particular that makes you remember the movie.
Exactly. Because that movie I mentioned before, Due Date, it's straight up comedy. I mean, it's hilarious. But at the same time, as you get into the movie, you realize like the movie itself has heart. It has a moment where you realize like maybe this is not all so bad. I mean, it's horrific because you're caught in the mix. You're caught in something that you can't, you know, rectify or, you know, try to rearrange or get back on track or anything like that. No pun intended because of trains. but it's really makes you think that, life has no guarantees, but knowing that how you react to it is what makes you, deal with the situation. It's always about the person. So I feel like with Dale, I think he came to the end of a journey that I think it was time for him to kind of move on from that grief. And like I say, and it ends there, but we got to remind ourselves this is still a comedy, even though we have this sweet, beautiful moment. The music that was playing, with the song, every time you go away, we go into this kind of hip hop rap, track with. We hear this voiceover of Dale and Neil's voice, saying, Dale, whatever. And then we hear Neil's voice saying, you're messing with the wrong guy. We hear this song going over and over again. It's just like, yes, we realize this is a comedy. This is nothing more.
You pointed out, like, right before the stream that there's a little scene tacked onto the credits.
Yes, I don't know. Do you know about this one, Lethal?
Yeah, the real person he should have had his anger towards from the beginning was this guy. Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that at the end of the credits.
I had forgotten about that moment, but when I rewatched, it's like he's still there.
Hasn't come to a decision either. Like he's still there trying to figure out. Like he's like looking at these.
He's got the whole Thanksgiving dinner at the table, and he's
yeah. It's like 1, 2, 3. I'm like, come on, guys.
Just pick one at random, then.
So it's so funny, but I realized that's not something new for John Hughes to do, because the year before he did do Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he did the classic tail end post credit scene, and it's famous. So when you see this, you may not even think about it because you don't think it's going to be a post credit scene, but when you see it, it's like, yeah, someone got their just due in a sense, because he hasn't decided. He's still locked up. He's, in a way, if you think about it, he's still kind of locked in a vice. He's still locked in a kind of a prison with this. So it's like Neil is free from all that, and in a way, Dale is too. This guy, I think he actually he's kind of the villain in this picture. If you think about
That's
it.
what I say. That's what I said. The real villain right here.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was the movie. So now we are going to go to final thoughts and rating, and we'll start with Lethal. Your final thoughts and rating for this movie.
You guys already said it. It's a good comedy. I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Nostalgia, thinking about my mom and laughing with her. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, it did make me tear up, I think twice in the movie. So it has that heart. Like I said, thinking of it, I'm trying to like not think of it in nostalgia way, but I'm just gonna give it a 10. Like, I don't know what your ratings. 10 out of 10 for me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Walter.
Well, I mean, maybe I probably would give it a 10, but like I say, it's a John Hughes film. That 10 would go actually to what I mentioned before, Ferris Bueller, but this would get a 9.5. I have to give it that because it is that good. It is a very good film, and it varies. It get a straight 10, and it should get a straight 10. But for me, the straight 10 goes to Ferris Bueller's Day Off because it's a little bit more up there. But that's my rating on that. And like I say, this film is it stands the test of time. It's like I say, it's sorry that films like this aren't done as well as this nowadays. That's the problem with Hollywood. But I won't get into the politics of that because Hollywood is what it is now. So
Nostalgic, heartwarming comedy that never gets old. 10 out of 10. Yeah. For me, it's everything we said. It's a great comedy. It's got a lot of heart to it. John Candy's best performance, and I think you can argue Steve Martin's best performance too. So I have to give it a 10 out of 10. And before I go and starting with Walter this time, future projects on the channel, because I know you got a stream coming up in around an hour.
Yes, I got something coming up with Kevin Lambert, and he's watching now. But we're going to be we're going to be doing Tale on the Mysterians. It's a 1957 film from Japan that is not so much overlooked, but not discussed as much. And I think it's one of the godfather or grandparent of a lot of the sci-fi Japanese films of that time, because this one really stands out the most. That's coming up in like about an hour from now. What I got going on Sunday is hopefully, if Anubis is watching, we're going to be discussing this 1985 film directed by William Friedkin, is To Live and Die in L.A., which is another film that's very underrated. I feel it doesn't get talked about too much, but it's one of those films that actually gave a lot of future films the ability to do the things that this one achieved. And coming this Tuesday, I won't go too far because I got this other things, but coming this Tuesday, I'm going to do my top 10. I'm going to do a second top 10 favorite movie explosions, because I did one earlier this year, and Mr. Kevin Lambert even suggested, it's like, well, why don't you do another one? There's so many explosions. Like, you know what? I think I will. So I'm going to do it that day, and like I say, I don't know how it'll go, but if it goes well, just like the last one, I'll probably do another one. So yeah.
Good. Thank you for watching, Kevin, and Lethal. Anything you got coming up in the pipeworks?
Unfortunately, no. But I'm inspired to do more now. No, nothing at the moment. Tomorrow, I'm thinking about doing a live stream. I'm going to do Silent Hill F, a second playthrough. I call it the drug-free run. If anybody's seen that playthrough, you'll get it. But other than that, no.
I need to catch up. I've seen. I kind of get it. Like, what's with the beast arm?
It's weird. It's a weird game. It's so weird, man.
It doesn't look bad, but like stuff like that, when I'm watching you play it, I'm like, this just isn't Silent Hill.
It isn't. It's a weird, even by Silent Hill standards, it's a weird game and a weird story. But they claim that it's made like that on purpose to make you play it multiple times to get the real ending. So we don't even know what's real at the moment. I don't even think the beast arm is real. I think it's a part of her imagination. It's just a weird game.
Oh, that's interesting. As for me, I was going to continue my Godzilla-thon this month, but since December is the anniversary of the Return of Godzilla's release, I want to get the review for that one out in time for that. I'm going to do a few more game streams this month because I want to get the ending for House of Ashes until Where Everyone Lives, and I have to do one more regular playthrough of that game so I can get that, but we'll have gotten 3 different variations of the ending. But as for that, Walter, Lethal, great having you. Good one. Great movie.
That was fun. Thank you, guys.
And I've been wanting to do one where I got the two of you together for a while.
Okay.
I also think you two would be good in a future date to discuss The Fallen.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of my movies too. We got to do that.
10 out of 10 for Jake Paul.
Cool.
As for that, again, Lessa, thank you guys for joining me. Everyone, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Over and out.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Well,